Hello. So, I'm probably in the future going to reshoot this video. I wanted to do a video on my injury. A lot of people ask about it, and sometimes it's just hard to tell the story over and over again. So I figured I would do it in a video. My name is Ashley DeVore. I go by Diary of a Paraplegic online. I have been injured since July of 2020. Currently, I'm in the hospital right now. It is about 2:45 in the morning. I just had a really bad reaction to a medication, and I'm having really bad problems with my stomach right now. So I just went through it for the past 6 hours probably, and now feel just like kind of not tired, and I'm just like going through a lot in my head of like things that I want to change in my life so I can do the things that I want to do. Because let me tell you, if you feel like there's nothing for you after being injured, there's a lot for you. There's a whole life to be had, and it might not be the life that you wish. And it's hard, obviously. Look at where I am. But there's a good life still to be had. So back to the story. I again injured in 2020. I was riding my motorcycle. It was a really, really hot day. It was like high 90s, like hundreds. I wasn't in the best mood. I should have just ridden my bike home. I had just got it out of the shop. I should have just ridden my bike home, but instead I decided to go up a different road, and out here in Lake County, it's called Morgan Valley Road, and I came into a turn too fast, and I remember pulling my brakes, and they started to squeal, and I knew I was screwed. I'm pretty sure I high-sided, and I flipped, and there's the guardrail. I have an IV in this arm, so it's kind of hard to move right now. It's sore. So the guardrail, the metal guardrail, and there's like big wooden poles. And I slammed into the guardrail. I like flipped and my back slammed into the guardrail. And I knocked out. Like I blacked out at the brakes, squealing. Like my mind knew, oh, okay, this is gonna be bad. You know what I mean? And then I woke up after I slammed into the railing. Somebody stopped and pulled my bike out of the road and came over and called the paramedics for me. The paramedics came. He sat there and held my hand until the paramedics came. And when the paramedics came, I asked them, let me back up a little bit. So I woke up, and I didn't know where my bike was. I didn't even care about that at that point. I was just like, okay, like my arms could move. I was like, all right. So I like looked at everything to make sure nothing was broken. Like, you know, I had my jeans and everything on, my jacket. Nothing seemed broken at that point, but I didn't even realize what had happened. And then I went to go try and get up, and I couldn't get up. And I was like, what? And so I was like trying to get up, and I was like, oh my God, bro. And so then the person came over, and he was like, are you okay? And I was like, I can't. It was like this old man, and I was like, I can't move my legs. And he's like, oh, you know. So he called, and he's like, it's gonna be all right, you know. And he was just holding my hand and telling me it was gonna be okay. And then the paramedics came. And I asked the paramedic, I was like, from best to worst case scenario, this starts happening in the hospital. It's like flaky stuff. It's like eczema or something. It starts happening when I take a bunch of medications. I'll just let it be. Okay, so I ask the paramedic, best to worst case scenario, and the paramedic says, but best case scenario, it's spinal shock, and you'll be out of it in, like 3 weeks or whatever. And then 2 to 3 weeks or whatever, you'll know, you'll be all right. And then he's like, you might be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. And I was just like, ooh. I was like, I'm in a lot of pain, dog. I was like, can you give me something for it? And he was like, yeah, are you allergic to anything? And I said, nope. He said, fentanyl. I said, nope. And he was like, all right, if your blood pressure is good, he said, I got you. And my blood pressure was good, so he shot me up. And then I didn't even realize that they life flighted me right off the mountain. So Reach came because I'm in Lake County. So Lake County doesn't have any kind of hospital that could have taken care of me like that. That's close. So they life flighted me. Big ups to Reach. We love Reach. I love them. They're amazing. So where I was, there was just this perfect landing pad. So they life flighted me from the mountain to Santa Rosa Memorial. Big ups to Santa Rosa Memorial and the ICU nurses there. They are fucking epic. So I got there, and I remember trying to call Brutus, my husband, and I kept saying his San Diego number because he had changed his number. So I was like 619 blah blah blah. I can't remember what it was. And they kept calling it, and they were like, it's not him. And I was like, oh. And then I remembered, and so then I got a hold of him, and then I don't remember anything after that, except for him coming and telling me he loved me. They didn't put me into surgery until he came and said that until he said possibly goodbye. So that's why it's like when people just ask, oh, what happened? It's like, you probably shouldn't just ask people that. If they want to tell you, you know what I mean? You probably should just treat us normal. Anyway. Sorry. So I went into surgery. They cut my back. It's a really nice cut for, you know what I mean? She did a really good job. It's not all jagged or like jacked up. It's like really straight and clean. She did a really good cut. But they put in a bridge. I had fractured my spine. I had broken my right arm, which I have a plate in. And I asked him to please put my tattoo together nice, and he did. He was a really cool guy. I liked him. I called him Dad. He was really cool. He always would come in and be like, make sure you eat. He was really cool. So I had broken my right arm. Just like a clean break. I had fractured T4 and T5. I broke my sternum, which was insane. It hurt so bad. You would hear it click because they had to roll me every 2 hours so I didn't get pressure sores, and it fucking hurt so bad, dude. That and then pulling me up in bed when I'd slide down, they'd like slide me back up, and it hurt so bad. My back, it was gnarly. So my sternum, my left ribs, and my left collarbone. And it was really hard. I remember waking up after the surgery and just being like, she came to me, the doctor. And I still remember this conversation, because if I had a conversation with somebody after their injury, it definitely wouldn't be how she did it. Doctors just, I don't know what it is about doctors and how they get so clinical that they have no fucking empathy somehow, or their empathy is like thrown off somehow. It's weird. It's like not, it's weird. It's like sociopathic empathy somehow. It's really trippy. But she came to me and she just said, "I'm sorry, but you're never going to walk again." And I just cried, and she held me and stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess it's like, but I kind of would have had a little speech, like, "Look, this is going to be the time, you're not going to walk." I wouldn't say you're not going to walk again either, because people are walking. But anyway, that's a whole different video. Look up the digital bridge. But, you know, I'd be like, "Hey, you're in a wheelchair at this point, okay? This is going to be the hardest fucking thing you have ever done in your whole life. And this is not fair. And this is the worst. But there is a life after this. And you can still do amazing things." Like, you don't have to give false hope, because that's what they say. Like, they don't want to give false hope or whatever. But, like, I guess that's for the religious people to do or something. I don't know. But I really think that bedside manner should be a thing that should be taught better with doctors. Nurses have it, for sure. Nurses are all bedside manner or none. All or none, for sure. I got a story on that from this day, but yeah, so she tells me that, and then I go into the ICU, and the ICU is kind of blurry a bit. It was very soft though at feeling, and like they made it like as homey as they could for as like clinical as it was, and the girls were just very sweet. Like, they brought me even like, a lot of my friends call me a mermaid. I love the ocean. I'm from San Diego. Like, I love to swim, I surf, like all the things, you know. And one of her friends, one of the nurse's friends, mixed me up a bottle of like oil, like essential oil, or you know, the perfume oil, and it was called Mermaid. And they brought me like coloring books and lotions, and they would just like take care of me, you know. And they were so sweet, and they were just like, you know, and they gave me some of the best advice. They told me not to go into a nursing home and skilled nursing facility, that they'll try and talk me into it, but not to go, because it'll kill me. They're like, "It will literally kill you, girl. If you don't die from COVID, it's gonna kill you one way or another, you know, emotionally, spiritually, like all this, like you're gonna die, dude. So don't fucking go there." And so my family took me home. Like, that was one of the things they told me. There was another, but I can't remember what it was. There was one other thing. I did it already. I accomplished the mission, so I think that's why I forgot it. But I can't remember what it was. But the making sure that I didn't go to the skilled nursing facility or nursing home, which I ended up having my first run-in with a woman before I left the hospital. We'll get to that here. So I'm in the ICU for about 3 weeks, I want to say. And then I got booted to the ARU, which is the acute rehab unit. And that would have been all fine and dandy, but I was still too broken to do anything. I couldn't bear weight, and so I wasn't able to do... There's no like midway point. It's just like the skilled nursing facility is the midway point for you to be taken care of, you know, which is crazy that they're so important and integral to people's well-being, but yet they're like one of the worst places to be, you know. It's crazy. So we opted out of the so I'm in the ARU for probably another 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. So I think ICU 3 or 4 weeks, and then another 3 or 4 weeks in. ICU was 3 weeks, and then it was another 3 weeks in the thing, I believe, in the ARU. I wish I would have went back to Santa Rosa Memorial for my aftercare, like my rehab. But instead I chose UC Davis because they said, oh, UC Davis is, it's not the best. Go to UCSF or Santa Rosa Memorial if you're up north. So they were trying to do stuff with me, getting me set up, stuff like that. And then my husband just went nuts and got like everything that I needed, a lift for the house, remodeled the bathroom. Like he just like did everything he could to make me comfortable. Like, I mean, like there was nothing he wouldn't do, you know, to make me at home and to make sure that I was taken care of. A good person, that's a good man, you know what I mean? Like, some people just leave their partners, and he did everything. He pulled out every single stop. Like, there's nothing he wouldn't pay for or do or build with his own hands. Like, I love him so much. I would not be able to do this without him. I would not. You know, we've been through our shit, but I love him so much. He's such a good person. Like, okay. So he takes me home. I had my chair there for like a week because I was still in there for a week, and he's like, I'll bring her chair down so she can utilize her chair. And everybody was like, oh my God, look at your chair, it's so sick. And I was like fucking speeding down the hallways and stuff because they had, one side was not open yet, one of the wings, and it felt very haunted. It was really trippy feeling. So I was like cruising around, and it was like my first freedom that I had. I'm really glad I'm doing this video, actually. That was the first freedom that I had, you know, and I was able to, they got me in that chair, and I was able to just rage around. It was super fun. So, and then I'd go outside, and I'd pray for people when I heard the helicopter coming. And I still do. Anytime I see the helicopter, I'm just like, I pray it's like that you come out and it's just a miracle, you know what I mean? Nothing's wrong, and you like, you're gonna be good, like God's got you. And even if it's not, God's got you. Like, I just, really pray for the helicopter and whoever's in it when I would hear them come over. And it was really cool to see it land, though, because they would land on the top of the building. And it was a small building. I mean, it was just the pad, like it was big enough for a helicopter pad, and they would swing out, and then it was really trippy the way they landed onto the pad. It was fucking cool, dude. So that was pretty interesting to watch. Although it was like, you know, you're still like, damn, I hope that person's okay. So then I go home, and I go home to heal. And after that, I spent a few years, we were doing really good. And it's been a roller coaster since then. So that's my accident story. I really appreciate it if you made it to the end of this video. I was gonna do it on more of like a less raw video, but you know what? I really have been wanting to do this so people can come and just check out like the story, and me not having to like type it out every time. If you do have any questions, go ahead and post them below. I will make some more videos on everything. there is one part of the story I did forget. Before I left the ARU, this was my first run-in with somebody who was making money off of me. I know it. Now I know it. Before I didn't know it, but now I definitely know it. So they must have given her given her some kind of fat bonus or something and she was pregnant. So I was thinking she probably needed it for the baby or something, or wanted it for the baby. But so she would come into my room and she was trying to be like, you know, grinding on me about going to the nursing facility and all your family's not going to be able to take care of you and all, and like doing all this stuff. And at one point I looked at her and I crossed my arms. I can't even get out of bed, okay? And I crossed my arms and I'm like, this is not jail. I was like, and you cannot force me to do anything that I don't want to do just because I can't move my body. I was like, so I'd appreciate if you got out of my room and you never came back here. And then I never dealt with her again. But she really was pushing on me. Like, she really was trying to make it like it was a mandatory thing for me to go. Like, I didn't have an option because I wasn't able to move my body. That they weren't able to. They were not. Now, it was hard. You know what I mean? Like, we had to move me every 2 hours. So we had to, wake up every 2 hours to move me at night and stuff. And I had to have somebody take care of me because I couldn't get out of bed at all. You know what I mean? My mom came to stay with us, like, least she could do after Mom. Liz. I love you, Liz, but jeez. So, she came and helped, so Burgess could still be working, and there was the boys, and we had a whole business, like, that. It was crazy, you know what I mean? It was super gnarly. So, so she was trying to make it like, no, you have to go kind of thing. No, you need to sign these papers. No, you're not able to take care of yourself, so you need to go here. Like, and I'm like, no, my family's got it. Like, my family has talked to the healthcare providers about what they need. My husband's perfectly capable, believe me. He's smart as fuck. Like, he's not an idiot, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, I had finally just gotten to the point where I was like, dude, no. This is not jail. You cannot force me to do shit. I can do whatever I want. I can refuse care. I can walk out of here whenever I want. So, yeah, so they took me home, and I'm so grateful for that, because I wouldn't have made it in a nursing home. It would have been really, really hard, and it would have really, really hurt me. So I'm really glad. And seeing pictures of like my mom's mother when she was, yeah. So yeah. Anyway, that's that story. Thank you for joining me again. Comment below if there's any other questions that you have about me that you'd like to hear, another video that you'd like me to do. I will be working on a lot more advocacy stuff after I get out of the hospital. I'm starting to feel a bit better, so I'll probably do some stuff tomorrow. We still have a few states that are on Section 504. And they, just won't kind of let go. So we gotta write our legislators here and make it known why it's so important for us. Because if I didn't have Section 504 and ADA, they could have just stuck me into an institution. So yeah, let's get back into working here. I'm going to try and get a little bit more rest. I super appreciate everyone, and thank you for helping me grow over on Facebook. Instagram, we've been holding strong at a certain number for a while. We got that 4K. And I really would love to grow over here on YouTube, so I'll be doing some long form content on Section 504 coming up. I just want to show the progression of like disabled activists and just like our story, our history, disabled civil rights history, and just different disabled leaders and disabled people that are amazing, you know. So I'd love to showcase that and start doing a little do like some interviews and stuff like that. It'd be super cool. So anyway, I appreciate everyone so much. Thank you for joining me, and I will catch you on the next video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. That shit goes far.